Alright, so hey everyone, today I want to take a look at Destroy All Humans and its dead zones. So for the camera, we have a 25% square dead zone. So you have to move outside of this red region before you start seeing any camera movement occur. 25% is a large dead zone. You can see how much stick movement I can make without anything occurring in game. But it's very common in games, and especially around the time that this game was released. Being square, this restricts a lot of diagonal movement around the axes, the amount of which depends on the dead zone size. So at 25%, this is a lot. You can see I'm making these very dramatic vertical body motions, and the camera's moving perfectly horizontally. This is perfectly vertically. You don't see diagonal movement occur until you break into these green regions. And to demonstrate that horizontally, you got perfectly left movement, then diagonal movement occurring downward here. The shaded region represents a jump in turn speed. So you start very slow, then build up, and once you pass over this, you get a very significant jump in acceleration. And what's a little interesting is, one, pulling off of this, there's some deceleration time. A lot of other games just kind of just stop the accelerated movement immediately, but this decelerates. And you can actually move the stick further and more acceleration, or it keeps accelerating a little more. I've tested this horizontally, and I'll show that on screen. This acceleration jump is about a 7 times increase, so that's pretty dramatic. The graph is it's not clear if the graph is accurate because I'm ignoring the dead zone in it. It's not clear if the game had dead zone options, if the threshold would scale, but you can see the shape of the curve and the acceleration jump. This threshold moves in the diagonal regions in a circular arc, and then moves perfectly straight up in a vertical threshold. And it seems that horizontal acceleration and vertical acceleration are separate, and the vertical acceleration starts sooner. So you can see like that. And they overlap in this area, so you can have vertical acceleration here and then bleed over to the horizontal acceleration like that. Now, it's a little interesting it's set up this way. Most games, one, have a consistent threshold, so their acceleration region kind of moves like this, and it's a kind of rounded square shape all the way around. But handling it separately also kind of skews diagonal movement. To try to demonstrate that, like if I move horizontally, you can see that the stick is moving at a certain direction, but if I move into the acceleration region, you can see that it becomes much more vertically biased. And same thing with the vertical acceleration. You can see this is the angle that it's moving, but this becomes a much more shallow angle because only the horizontal acceleration is being applied. Now for movement, this inner square, Crypto doesn't move, but he pivots towards the direction. And something that's a little interesting is you can see that the walk animation begins before the character starts moving. And yep, you can see it here. You'll notice that Crypto is moving, but I haven't exited the graph dead zone yet. This is a bit of a quirk I found. Depending on the slope you move, this can change where you actually start moving. So for example, if I move over here, let's see how this looks. So now you have to move out of the indicated dead zone on the graph before you start moving. This graph was tested on a very flat region in the world, so this is more accurate to that, but it's important to note that there's plenty of non-flat areas, so this graph won't be accurate for everything. As you can see here, let's see if this makes a difference, and you can see that I'm within the dead zone, but crypto is moving. So there's probably locations that could make it so that the animation begins right as character move. When the character starts moving, the animation plays properly. But this is what I found. Now, there's restricted diagonal movement, the same exact amount as the camera. So if your stick's anywhere in these blue regions, crypto will just move in one of 4 directions. And you have to move to these green regions before diagonal movement is accessible. And you can see right around the dead zone how scrunched these diagonals are. So if I just trace it, you can see just how much exclusive cardinal direction you're limited to. Now, the last thing I want to try to demonstrate is the aim assist in this game. This uses sort of a hard lock, very similar to Grand Theft Auto. The way it triggers is basically once you pass over a target, or once you start shooting when on target, it'll lock on hard lock to them, but if you're not on target, it won't. So to find one of these enemies over here, let's see how easy this is. So if I just shoot, you can see that there's no aim assist there, but if I'm on target, you can see that it hard locks like that. So this is kind of, depending on when you start shooting, it can be a very generous auto-aim system or just not give you any at all. So really, you kind of have to be accurate for it to register properly. Anyway, and do another demonstration. You can see that nothing there. And actually nothing there, so it's a little inconsistent. But yeah, and hard locked right there. But that about covers it. So thanks for watching, and everyone, have a good rest of your day.